Don't open the U.S. border. That seems to be how Canadians feel about reopening our shared southern border, according to a new poll from Nanos Research. What's making Canadians uneasy about the border? Let's get some insight with the man behind the numbers, Pollster Nik Nanos of Nanos Research. Hey, Nik Nanos, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Power Play. You know, I want to take us to that border because you asked Canadians if they wanted to see that border completely reopened. We should say that it's closed to casual travelers and tourists, but it's open to travel and trade. But Canadians want to keep it closed to those travelers and those tourists. What are they telling you?
You know, what's interesting in the new CTV Nanos survey, only 1 out of every 5 Canadians, or 20%, believe that the border should be opened for non-essential travel. And about 40% think that it should be closed till the end of the summer. And another 3 out of every 10 Canadians believe that it should be closed until there's a vaccine. You know, the ironic twist is we don't even know whether a vaccine will be created. So that could be a very long time. But what this speaks to is the fact that for many Canadians, when they think about the COVID-19 virus, they start off with thinking about them and their family, then they start thinking about their community, their province, their country, and then they're probably looking at the United States. And when they see what's going on in the United States, it's pretty clear that there's a significant number of Canadians that have concerns about what's happening there, and it makes them kind of hesitant when it comes to opening up the border for non-essential travel.
Why is it? Their concern is that they think that the Americans will come in and there will be another wave. What was their main concern about that?
Well, you know,
and not going to the States, because they want the border to be closed on both sides. So what they're telling you is they don't even want to go to the States either.
Exactly. You know, this is the new world. Can I say crazy world? The new crazy world that we're living in is that provinces close borders between themselves. You know, we had the province of Quebec effectively unilaterally close the border with Ontario. And, you know, we've never seen that before. So now closing a border between provinces, between countries, is something that in the past might have seemed like it's crazy, but now it's part of the new normal. And there hasn't really been any backlash against the closing of borders. So should we be surprised that there aren't a lot of Canadians that want to open up the border when the reality is just a few weeks ago, the government of Quebec closed and restricted travel in Quebec between Quebec and Ontario?
So I'm still just trying to process here. Some people telling you not to open the border until there is a vaccine. That actually is surprising. But you asked people also about testing.
Yes.
And what was Canadians' reaction about testing?
Well, about 6 out of every 10 Canadians support or somewhat support testing everyone. I think this speaks to the fact that for many Canadians, they don't feel that the battle against the coronavirus is over, and that testing is probably the one way to kind of have as much control as possible over what's going to happen. But you know, one of the other things that popped, you talked about the vaccine. Only 12% of Canadians are confident that we'll actually find a vaccine. That's about 1 out of every 10. So, you know, the thing is people might talk about a vaccine. People might say that a vaccine is conditional for transitioning the economy to be open, for opening the border more and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is very few Canadians are confident that a vaccine will be found. And as a result, what they're looking for is a higher level of appetite, or they have a higher level of appetite for broader testing in order to try to control and fight the coronavirus.
I don't have a lot of time, but confidence about reopening, the level of confidence out there that Canadians have about, you know, we're slowly reopening. How is that doing?
Well, this is the one piece of good news in the CTV Nanos survey, because about 7 out of every 10 Canadians describe their province as, when it comes to opening up, as doing a safe or somewhat safe job at transitioning back. So that's the good news. It looks like slow is good when it comes to getting back to normal, and that there's not a big rush because they're not confident about finding a vaccine and they want more testing.
Nik Nanos, as usually, crunching the numbers. Love it. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
You too, Joyce.